Thank you for listening to Tunnel Vision Podcast. I want to welcome you back to another episode. I'm Mario Doremus.
I'm Eric.
Man, we got a lot of episodes. We got a lot to talk about this episode.
Shout out to Cal. Buckeye B is not here.
Yeah, B is not in the building today. But we're going to try to hold it down.
Hillman is LeBron James is in spirit somewhere. Trust me.
LeBron is in California doing Lakers media stuff. But nah, we're going to try to hold it down for B today. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot going on in the sports world right now. A lot.
Yeah.
But you got anything you want to say before we kick things off?
Nah, man, I'm ready to pod, bro.
All right. So I didn't know if it was something you wanted to touch on beforehand before we get into this.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm having a better week.
Better week? Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm having a better week. Michigan had a bye, so I didn't have to worry about them winning or losing. The Eagles are still undefeated, so, you know.
It's kind of tough to worry about a team winning or losing, ain't
it? Yeah. Right. I mean, right now, right now, one of my teams is undefeated. The other one got one loss. So, you know, I'm just hoping that the season can end as well as it started for both teams.
That's what's up.
But I'm also a Sacramento Kings fan, so I got to live with the fact that the NBA is about to start too. So,
yeah.
But it's okay though. I love being a Sacramento Kings fan because my expectations for the Eagles are vastly different than they are for the Kings. Like, I've never went into an NBA season like, man, this our year.
As they should.
After
you would be crazy. Like, that would be a definition of insanity for you to have the same expectations of the Kings as you do.
Well, some sports fans are unrealistic, like, about their team. They are. That's like somebody being a fan of the Minnesota Golden Gophers and being like, this is our year to win the Big Ten. Like, it's probably not going to happen.
But ain't that kind of... See, you're trying to bait me, I think. But ain't that kind of like pot calling the kettle black?
How? I'm just saying, I think it's a difference.
It took you a little bit to understand and recognize the shortcomings of the play that Jalen Hurts is having.
But that's all right. So
and even then, the denial is it's only 4 games.
Well, see, all right. So I will be very brief with this because we will talk about it once we get to the NFL. Because we got to talk about this. Because I was gonna send you a text message because we have a group chat that we do. I was gonna send something in the group chat, but it was gonna be an analogy. But I'm like, you know what? That's too much to type. I'm gonna say him later.
Okay.
So we gonna talk about it when we get there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but no, it's very different. It's very different. Like, my expectations for Jalen Hurts are for him to be Jalen Hurts and help the Eagles win football games. I don't have expectations like. Well, I mean, because it's also a difference because I know what he's capable of. Like, I know more than likely the Minnesota Golden Gophers is as good as a team that they can have. They're not going to win the Big Ten.
Okay.
It's like 6 teams above them that will win the Big Ten before them.
What was the point of using the Minnesota Gophers?
I'm just saying because they're a team.
Because we played them this week, so I was kind of confused.
No. I thought of a random team from the Big Ten.
Gotcha.
They're like middle of the pack. They're not terrible.
Gotcha.
But they're not the best.
Gotcha. And that's cool. Yeah. I just was like, is that a shot somewhere? Like,
no.
Am I missing something? Like, we played them this week, but okay, that's cool. No. That's cool.
It was not a jab at the Golden Gophers at all, or even Ohio State.
Okay.
I was just pulling a random team.
Gotcha.
I could have used the Wisconsin Badgers.
Okay, fair.
But the Wisconsin Badgers have won the Big Ten more recently than the Golden Gophers.
Yes.
So
agreed.
But with that, let's start talking about college football. Let's kick the pod off the right way. Let's talk about a team that I guess they're back in competition for their conference. Alabama. We wrote them off earlier this year.
I still might write them off.
You writing them off? Big win against Georgia this past week. Ty Simpson looked like he's coming into his own. I don't know if I'm necessarily believing in the coaching.
Can two things be true though? Can it be that they're still mid and that we're just not? This is not the Georgia of Georgia. Could that be true?
It could. It could.
And the reason why is because, I mean, you look at the stats, right? Like, Gunnar Stockton did not play well. Have 130 yards passing is, in my opinion, that is not good, right? Now, he didn't turn the ball over, but still, like, even in this game, Georgia started off slow. Bama kind of got going. Then they kind of got going a little bit when they started to kind of believe in the running game. But then they kind of, I don't know, man. I'll say this. And on top of that, even when Georgia was down, I mean, Bama was down last year, Georgia beat them. So it's more of like, I think there's I think Bama is Georgia's kryptonite right now. I think Kirby Smart has only beat them once. So, like, that's where it's like one of those things where it's like, bro, I don't, both things could be true in this scenario.
All right, I get that.
But I don't hold Georgia at the high regard, nor do I think that Bama's really that good.
Well, this is my opinion of the Gunner thing, right? Like, Gunner Stockton is a quarterback that's capable, but you know that Georgia's a run dominant team. They're not out there having their quarterback do anything that's, especially against like a team like Alabama, right? That's gonna have like a higher pressure defense. They're gonna try to run the ball down their throat, control the clock. You know that's the Georgia style of football and play defense.
Yeah,
it didn't work because they fell behind too much early on.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what hurt them, right? Like, and the downfall of this is like, this is the prime example of why you see a quarterback like Carson Beck transfer when everybody was questioning it.
For sure,
he goes to a program where he's gonna have an opportunity similar to what Jalen Hurts did in college. Go somewhere where you have opportunity to develop as a quarterback and get better to prepare you for the next level.
Why did you have this? You could the perfect analogy or the perfect example was Cam Ward recently. Like to throw Jalen Hurts into this.
But Cam Ward was throwing the ball at a high clip when he was at Washington State. He just went into a bigger school. That's a difference.
But they wanted Beck to come back.
Yeah, they wanted Beck to come back, but he went somewhere again.
Jalen Hurts didn't want, like, Jalen Hurts was forced to leave.
He wasn't forced to leave, no.
Tua took his job.
First of all, we don't know if Tua would have started the next season. They pulled him for Tua in the national championship game in the second half because they weren't able to move the ball.
He transferred because he wasn't going to play, bro.
And I'm telling you right now, bro, look at the trajectory of every quarterback that has come from Alabama under the Nick Saban tree.
They're trash.
They don't have very big careers in the NFL. They don't do anything.
No.
Because they're not developed properly to throw the ball at that clip. Because they're relying
from both teams.
Yeah, I can say that. I would agree with you.
And I'm not denying that.
That's what I'm saying. Gunnar Stockton, so when you look at his numbers, 130, but I don't expect for him to do that against a team like Alabama. If they were playing Norfolk State, I would expect him to have 300 yards passing because that's what they would allow him to do.
Can you scroll down?
In this game, they're not going to allow him to do that. If you
and that's the crazy part, bro. Like, you got supposedly one of the best receivers in Zachariah Branch, bro. And he got three. He was 3 for 35 yards, and his longest catch was for 22 yards. Yeah. That ain't enough. Like, Zachariah Branch is one of your best players on your team. That ain't enough, bro.
I agree. But do you think that, all right, after this game, do you believe that Georgia is more so on the downfall? Like, do you think probably going to be projecting down now, or you think that Alabama is having a resurgence on their season?
I think they're both like projected like in the middle of the pack. Like it's
of the SEC?
Yeah. Or closer, further down. Like I look at Ole Miss. Here it is. Ole Miss, probably Tennessee, and then the next set of teams, in my opinion, will probably be Alabama, Georgia, LSU.
Even though Georgia just beat Tennessee.
Yeah, because they just lost to Bama again. Like, Oklahoma, my bad. Oklahoma's up there with like Tennessee, right?
I'm not drinking the juice on Oklahoma.
But they're gonna slow down because their quarterback's out.
Yeah.
Texas A&M has an opportunity to kind of leapfrog a little bit. But like, I don't believe in Bama. I don't believe in Georgia, and I don't believe in LSU.
So, all right. You don't believe in LSU. I know you don't believe in LSU. Anybody that watches the podcast will know that you don't believe in LSU or Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I want
and Texas, my bad. Texas, you could probably throw Texas in that upper, because regardless of that, Texas defense is probably one of the best defenses in the SEC.
I would agree with you.
So if I gotta go with anybody who could probably win the SEC, it would be a team like Texas. Texas has one of the best defenses. They can probably take care of the ball enough to beat any one of these teams that's ranked right now that we're looking at. Whether it's LSU, Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, I think they can beat one of those teams.
So you would say that Alabama and Georgia right now are middle of the pack to the SEC?
Yeah, I think they're that middle of the pack that's pretending. They're we gonna get to the point where we start pretending and contending, and I think it's not that many contending out of this SEC, bro.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a believer in Texas A&M. Like I feel like they're the same team every year. They're gonna be like we're gonna have high hopes till they get into really rough SEC play,
and that might work. That I ain't disagreeing.
I will say this though, I think that this has to be the year that we maybe light some fire under Lane Kiffin. Like, at what point are you going to be the best team in the SEC?
Rumor is that
because he has the talent.
Rumor is that Florida's gearing up to offer him the bag soon.
And you know what?
He better take it.
And I won't lie to you. If I'm a team like Clemson, I might rush to jump the gun and surpass them. Because I don't know if Dabo, after this year, I don't know if you give him another year.
Yeah, you can't.
The way that everything has been going there, I don't know if you can bring Dabo back.
Switch to the ACC real quick. I just want to see kind of where Chargers Clemson kind of fall in line.
Not high enough.
Jeez, oh Pete's 1-3. Hey, Dabo.
Yeah, 0-2 in SEC play.
I ain't even gotta keep trolling you, bro. You getting your head beat in. Yeah, give me Georgia Tech to win this division, bro. This conference.
Yeah, I mean,
Florida State got an opportunity. Georgia Tech or Miami gonna win it. Florida State got a little opportunity, but Florida State just lost last week.
They did to Virginia.
Yep.
I mean, it's still not too. It's not too.
Who the coach over there in Virginia still? Is it the same cat?
Yeah, I think they hired him last year.
Oh, it's a new goddamn. Okay, yeah, that ain't who I thought it was.
But yeah, no. So I won't lie. Like if we're being fair to all parties, I think this might, because at some point another team has to rise in the SEC, right? Like.
Yeah.
It's been Alabama, Georgia, and I think Lane Kiffin has kind of been on the coattails of like those teams of being top of second tier. Now he has to, like, this might be his year.
And shout out to Lane though, because Lane kind of was in that boat of your boy over at Penn State.
Oh, you talking about James Franklin?
He was in that boat with James Franklin where he can't win big games. And I know we'll get to that in a minute, but
yeah, but all right, so this is I won't even lie to you. Like I was never a Lane like the greatest thing Lane Kiffin ever did was go when he left from being a head coach after the USC.
Yep.
And then he went to become a coordinator at Alabama. Yep. And I think that was the greatest thing that he ever did.
Yeah.
Because I felt like after he left there, we kind of saw like the surges of him going and just becoming a winning head coach because he was going everywhere else and failing.
Yeah.
Failed at USC, failed at Tennessee.
But it was smart. Like, back in that time, if a head coach was a failing head coach, he go to school of Saban.
Yeah.
And he go learn how to be a better leader and a better coach and go win ball games. Lane been on the cusp of it, but now when taking that step to beat LSU, man, shouts out to them. Like they did their thing.
Should Ole Miss now be ranked in the top 5?
Yeah, I would say so. That's a big win, bro.
And considering, I mean, you got to think, team that Penn State lost this week, which we'll talk about here shortly, but now they beat number 4 LSU. Georgia now has a loss on their resume, following Alabama. Ole Miss is, right there. And I think the most impressive thing is they did this with a backup quarterback.
He looked good, too.
Yeah.
He looked good for him to be a backup, bro. But this is crazy.
Shout out to Trinidad.
I had heard he should have been the starter all along. I heard rumblings that he was the better of the two. Any younger to where younger, yeah. You kind of could get him going and you got to run with him for a little bit. Yeah, shout out to him, man.
But I don't know. I mean, after this, do you go back to the starting quarterback or do
you win that big game, bro, on that stage? Granted, it was at home.
It was at home, yeah.
I mean, Jeff, can we see their schedule? Like, I would just say, like, oh, hell yeah. I might let him start again. Give him a start at Washington State, see what he do, and then you got Georgia and Oklahoma at home.
Yeah.
You just saw him win a top 5 matchup at home. Like, nah, bro. Yeah. I start him again next week and see what he do.
All right. So, but how do you feel? And I know some comments that you made earlier this week in the group about what Brian Kelly had said after the game during his post-game press conference. Basically, where he was saying that Nussmeier has to play better, that some of the players weren't out there doing their job, executing. But how do you feel about him saying that versus do you not feel like he was holding? Because he did. I rewatched that interview like 3 times, and he did say something about the coaches specifically, like saying that they have to prepare. They have to prepare the players, better. But I didn't hear him say anything about I have to be better.
Nah, and I think one that's my biggest gripe, right? Like, the first thing you do when you get on the podium to talk as a coach or as any player, right? You got to take some type of accountability first. Then you could disperse some of the issues amongst the offense, the defense, special teams, or whatever it may be, and players and coaches and kind of go from there. But, like, for you to immediately go to Garrett Nussmeier because he been put on this pedestal to being a potential Heisman Trophy candidate and hasn't lived up to any of that thus far. Mm-hmm. I don't think, like, this is not the first jab that he's taken of him in that setting this season. All right, the first one I kind of said something about it, but all right, maybe that's him trying to light a fire in this guy. All right, cool. All right. But the second time, the third time, like, bro, if it ain't working. So to continue to keep coming out and bashing him first before you taking accountability, it's just bad to me, bro. Like, and y'all know how I feel about Brian Kelly, man, but he's never taken accountability for nothing.
Well, I mean, but has he ever really had to, right? Like,
He should.
I understand. I understand he should, but think about it, right? Like and this is my only gripe. Like, I don't have any beef with Brian Kelly. Like, it is what it is. Obviously, from Cincinnati, and seeing the team have the run that they did before he left, I was thinking that he was gonna stay and at least coach, because that was, at that point, it was the biggest game that they had ever played in school history. And I kind of felt like, it was going to be a mismatch because Florida was just too damn good that year. But at the same time, like, that you're leaving, you don't want to just leave these guys high and dry. But this is what I learned though, right? Like, and I don't know if what y'all learned or like what y'all beliefs are, like, as far as like marriage, right? So for me, I always had this saying. I'll say this. I always had this saying since I was like a teenager. Because I've always thought about marriage, but I'll never marry a woman who left somebody at the altar. Like, if she was like engaged prior, like, so basically it's just a metaphor saying, like, I'm not gonna do something knowing of what could happen, right? Like, knowing of what's happened in the past. Because look at what he did. What you see, right? He went to Notre Dame, said it was his dream job, but he just left the kids high and dry, and they got slaughtered in that game. Goes to Notre Dame, builds up the program, but then what does he do? As soon as you see things start to go the opposite way, what do? He left for a different job.
Yeah,
but that was your dream job.
That was your dream job.
Yeah. So that's why when I say he's never really had to be held accountable for what.
Nah,
I mean, he should have been. But
he should have been, though. Yeah, for sure. Oh, man. At the end of the day, bro, like, it's bigger than just that. Like, can we see the team stats? Like, it's a lot of bad coaching for this shit, bro. Like, and this is where, like, bro, you're 2 for 11 on third down. That is beyond bad. And then on the flip side, it's beyond bad that your defense allowed 8 for 16 conversions on third downs.
Did you see them, like, at the end of the game? Remember, because I told you, I even texted in the group chat, like, at the end of the game when Lane Kiffin went for it on fourth down at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what are they doing? I thought that they was going to just trust their defense on that drive.
That's a fact.
But Lane Kiffin, sure enough, dialed up some crazy-ass offensive set, and they converted, and down there, hey, if that receiver didn't go down, he probably could have scored.
Yeah. But it's like, that's accountability. Like, start making sure you're going to work on third down efficiencies in practice. Take some accountability from that, bro.
Bro, it's a difference of 200 yards here.
Yeah.
Look at the top. Bro, look at the
226 to be exact.
And for them to have that much of that, bro, Ole Miss beat them with double the penalties. They had 14 penalties and won this game.
Yeah, bro.
That's insane.
And Ole Miss won the time of possession.
Oh yeah, it is.
And had 2 turnovers. Like, so you won the turnover battle and you still, nah, bro. I ain't going for that. Like, dude is a fraud for real, bro. To be run around acting like he's this top echelon coach and he needs this and he needs that. Like, you and Dabo on the same boat, bro.
I won't lie to you. I saw a lot of comments from that post game on both Twitter or X, or whatever y'all want to call it. I still call it Twitter, but I saw a lot of comments on there. There's a lot of people who are LSU fans, like an alumni, saying Brian Kelly not an SEC coach.
No, he ain't it. Brian Kelly ain't it, bro. He can't take the pressure because when it fold, he act like he, you know what I mean? And let's not to mention too, like, I still ain't kind of over the fact that they slept that shit under a rug about that cameraman that got killed in practice.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, asked him to go film the practice way up top, bro, and failed and killed himself. Nobody talked about it. Brian Kelly still got his job. Yeah, fraud. But anyway.
Which is crazy. Before we...
Okay.
I did want to say this, though. The thing that him and Dabo both have in common right now, both of their quarterbacks were mentioned as the 2 top Heisman candidates, and both of them are not in the Heisman picture right now.
Yeah. It's crazy. But, and they want to blame it on did it's the player. Both of them. You don't never, bro, as a coach, you never blame a player.
Yeah, especially if it's probably your most decorated player.
Yeah. The goal is for you to make sure you do everything. I coached on some 0-10 teams, bro. it could easily be, hey, it's the kids. But nah, bro. What else can we do to try to help these kids be successful?
Yeah.
After we done turned over stone after stone after stone, all right, cool. You can kind of be like, all right, I've done all I can do. But these dudes doing this shit in week 4 and 5. Come on, bro.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
But we got the next game that was pretty good of a game, winning the double overtime. Oregon Penn State. Another person who's underwhelming in James Franklin and who can't win big games.
Yeah. But I'm biased when they come. I'm so biased when it comes to talking about James Franklin. I'm realistic, but I'm biased. I'll say that right now.
I ain't. I guess I'm biased because he can't win no big games, and he's one of them. In the past, he's complained about not having enough recruits to compete at the top level too.
Yeah, no, he has.
That's a trend.
He has. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I've seen him turn around bad programs like he did with Vanderbilt, and maybe a lot of my biasness comes from me being stuck in that moment.
It is.
And also, I met the guy, really nice guy. I did. I met him at Vanderbilt. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. But no, I will say this though. I do think, to your point, at some point he has to be. We have to look at him and say, you're getting a lot of hype around these teams for what reason?
And not to mention that I just thought about while you was talking. This is another quarterback that was talked about being a Heisman Trophy candidate. And Drew Aller, who isn't playing up to the par.
What the thing is, I feel like he's regressed almost every year since he's been there. And I don't know if that's just offensive scheme.
Man, it gotta be some of that, bro.
His play is just getting worse, which, you know what I mean? Like,
but
it's hard for a player to fall off that far. Even though he's not playing terrible, but he should be playing better.
But here's where, and here's where I was gonna go, and we can talk about it a little bit later with the Jalen Hurts thing, right? Like, in my opinion, when you continue to keep, even though Penn State hasn't really asked him to do much in the past, right? Now they're trying to slowly but surely ask him to do more. But when your confidence isn't there because you've played bad in these bad systems or these bad ways that ultimately look bad on you if you're not winning, it can start to fuck with your psyche a little bit and you end up digressing. You don't end up being the player that you could be because you ain't getting out of it. The coaching ain't bad. What they used to ask you to do what at that moment wasn't good for you. Now they're asking for you to do more, but now you're not having the success, so you start to crumble. These quarterbacks, quarterbacks are almost, or they probably are worse than pitchers in Major League Baseball. They gotta be like, you gotta coddle a quarterback, bro. Some quarterbacks. Because of their ego isn't big enough or they don't believe in themselves. Like, when you talk about why, look at it like this. Any player that comes off the bench in a football game, besides a quarterback, could probably come in and have a decent game. The psyches of backup quarterbacks, and that's why I always stick with a backup as a backup, because they know that it ain't 32 quarterbacks out there that's better, that's good. And especially when you talk about the National Football League. You can talk about college football is worse. If you can't start, the psyche is you're not good enough. You know you're not good enough. Browning had been cut, and I know I'm kind of bouncing around, but I'm giving examples. Browning had been cut. He knew he wasn't good enough. He even said in his first press conference, I know I can, I have the confidence that I can do this. Why you say that? Because you lack confidence. You don't have the confidence that you could truly be a starter in this league, or you will probably be in a better situation than you are now.
Yeah, but I also think it's the mentality of the player too, though, right? Like, I mean,
it absolutely is, but it's a lot of the psychological shit when you start talking about quarterbacks, bro.
Well, I think also like for all right, and this is a little off topic for this, but to your point with the whole Jake Browning thing, I think that's also a little different too, because he knows what role he's stepping into. You going into it, you not only coming in to start as a backup now, but you taking over for Joe Burrow, who is a top 3, top 5 quarterback in the league, right? Some would probably say he's the best. And the team was 2-0 when you got there. When you had to jump in.
And to add to that, right?
The pressure is gonna crumble him.
But to add to that, we just talked about 3 straight schools with 3 guys that really are not coaching at a high level as they could be, right? And they all 3 had great quarterbacks, so to speak. They had this they had this hype around them. They haven't lived up to the hype.
And I'm gonna be real with you. I think in this situation, when you're talking about psyche and talking about things from an advantage of confidence, I think that honestly, a lot of that shit, as much as he doesn't say anything about it, and he tries to like go away from the topic, but James Franklin, like every single big game he has like a top 5, top 10 matchup, because I think he's only won one game where he's faced a top 10 opponent and won.
Yeah. And he's an offensive minded dude, which is shocking.
Because the offense is terrible.
Yeah. And then he tried to go get our Jim Knowles from us, which thank you for taking Jim Knowles, brother. Like Matt Patricia is the one. Matt Patricia is the one. But the defense wasn't the problem. The offense was the problem.
Yeah.
It's been the problem. If he ain't had no good running backs, he's done.
And then you saw what happened when they took the running game away from him.
Yep.
If it weren't for Tyler Warren, nobody would have caught a pass last year in the playoff game.
No, sir. And they didn't really use Tyler Warren to their best of their ability. Especially when we played him. We took care of him. Yeah. I think he had maybe 1 or 2 catches.
Yeah, but even with this game though, do you think that do you see Penn State being able to bounce back on the season and still compete for the Big Ten, or do you think that the Big Ten Big Ten, for them to win the Big Ten like those, that's pretty much over with? Because it's only their first loss.
It's only their first loss. Who else they got, Jeff? The rest of the year. It's only their first loss, bro. But
I mean, it's tough because it's also a Big Ten loss.
It's a Big Ten loss, but here in a couple weeks, bro, they got us. They got Indiana. If they lose to us at the 2 loss, maybe depending on how Indiana play them as well, that's gonna be a tough game, I believe.
Yeah,
bro, they could fuck around and not.
But that's the game that James Franklin needs. Like, I won't even say because I don't think that they'll beat Ohio State. Mm-hmm. But that Indiana game, that's the game. He needs Indiana to be undefeated at that point.
Yeah.
Because that's the game he needs. That's to really get over that psychological hump of I can't beat a top 10 team.
Yeah. He's going to have to get lucky enough and they're going to have to play for them to beat Indiana. But like the hard part is you sit up here and you got a back-to-back.
Yeah.
You got a back-to-back top 10 matchup potentially.
Yeah.
That could get ugly. Like you could have some guys get knocked out or banged up against Ohio State, and now you got to turn around and go play at Indiana when you might be shorthanded.
Which, I mean, I won't even lie to you, even shit. But the game before Ohio State,
Iowa, yeah.
Playing at Iowa, especially if they turn into a night game, if they haven't set a time for it.
Yeah. No, they haven't. TBD.
That's what I'm saying. If they turn into a late afternoon or a night game, that might be rough for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm looking at it like Oregon and Ohio State, I think, are primed to one meet. They're primed to meet in Indiana, I think, in Indianapolis this year.
You think so?
Yeah, they're the two best teams in the conference. Do you think who do you think is going to go to Indiana or Indianapolis?
If Indiana's undefeated, it could be him. I'm not sold on Oregon. I'm not.
Do they play each other?
Who, Oregon and Indiana?
Yeah. If they don't, I think Indiana's going to. Oregon's going to get it.
Let's look at the remaining schedule for Oregon.
Oh, they play each other.
Yeah.
This week.
Next week.
Next week.
On
Okay.
the 11th. Yeah.
On the 11th. Yeah.
They got about this week.
So the winner of that game.
The winner of that game, that's probably, unless something crazy happens.
Go to Indiana or Indianapolis.
Yeah. Unless something crazy happens.
We still got to take care of business too, though. So we ain't been to Indianapolis in a while.
Yeah, I mean.
So I ain't gonna toot my own horn just yet.
Yeah, y'all got a tough game coming up too at the end of the year.
Very tough.
Yeah, in Ann Arbor.
Very, very tough.
What's the recent record on it?
When last what? How many games?
We like 4-1 in the last 5.
4-0 or 0-4 in the last 4.
Bruh, come
in the last 5. In the last 5, they're 1-5 or 1-4.
Last 10, we
5 and
6 and 4.
6 and 4 in the last 10.
Oh, so it's pretty okay.
Yeah, it's pretty even.
Shouldn't be.
Pretty. Hey.
And they get another loss because they ducked us and tried to act like they had COVID.
Hold on. That was a COVID year.
They ducked us. Shout out to Jim, huh?
Yeah, shout out to Jim, man. No one was best for your players. No one was best for your players.
They ducked us, Jeff.
No, he stopped y'all from getting COVID. What do you mean?
What?
He stopped Ohio State.
Hey,
the whole team would have had COVID, and then what? Then what? Somebody would have got sick. They would have blamed Michigan. It would have been a lawsuit. Everything.
Ducked us, Jeff. But speaking of Ohio State, quickly,
you said it last week.
I said it, bro. Like we talking about. I get it. Washington did kind of first quarter kind of look pretty decent, right? But it's Washington, and who they played was even worse than them, right? So like that's why they was able to get off. But like, hey man, I tip my hat off to Ryan Day, bro. Like I think they're doing a damn good job of slow walking the dog for Julian Sang and allowing him to continue to grow each game. Now, against lesser opponents, we saw him do a little bit more, but for a freshman or a redshirt freshman quarterback to go into one of the most hostile environments on the road, kind of midday nightish, and they quieted the crowd for majority of that game, and in my opinion, I think showed that again they're the best defensive team in the country, and it's not even close, bro.
And I think that this is a perfect example.
Nobody has scored. My bad. Nobody has scored in the red zone on them yet.
Yeah, but that's a credit to Matt Patricia.
Shout out to Matty P. Yeah. You a good one, brother.
Skinny Matt
too.
Shout out to Skinny Matt.
Skinny Matt, number 2 pencil Matt.
But this is like when I've told you before. I'm not an Ohio State fan, but I speak highly of Ryan Day.
Yeah.
Like. I think that when you talk about
you might have some red, some scarlet and gray somewhere, bro.
Nah.
In the clock.
Yeah, I mean,
oh shit! All right, right on.
It's navy and red, white. Yeah, navy and red.
Okay, all right.
Gray,
navy
and red.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Shout out to corporate. But no, like I think that when you look at the job that he does as a coach, like to keep this team motivated, you know what I mean, coming off of a national championship, and then even for them to make a change and insert Bo Jackson as the starting running back, it's probably the best decision they could have made. Like he's such an explosive young back. Even though he's a true freshman, though, right?
True freshman, bro. Yeah,
but even though he's a true freshman, like I think it's something about the offense. He gives them that burst that they've been needing in the running game. But Donaldson he's always the bruiser.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's almost like that perfect balance again that they had last year, right? Not the same dynamic, but similar.
And I like that they're still trying to give James People a little bit of touches and playing time just to kind of see what he can do. Donaldson wouldn't know. I mean, obviously after this year, Donaldson won't be around, but yeah, man, like to go to Bo Jackson, it's crazy. I told my dude this. Not speed wise, but everything else, he reminds me of Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I can see that.
He reminds me exactly like Chris Johnson, bro.
That burst out the backfield.
That burst out the backfield. He don't have that top speed that he got, but he runs exactly like him, bro. And I fuck with it, bro. He can run between the tackles a little bit. He had a solid game, and
but bro, the greatest thing about that, he's a true freshman.
Yeah,
you know how much you learn between being a true freshman and even a junior.
Yeah,
hell, even like by the end of next year, like you talking about a guy that could be mentioned as a potential Heisman candidate.
Yep.
Like if they, you know what I mean, scale the offense that way. But I don't know.
And the crazy part about it too, defensively on the defensive side, we lose all of our starting defensive linemen, and I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know if it's Matt Patricia or not, but this defensive line might be better than last year's defensive line. This defense might be better than last year's defense.
I don't know about that,
bro.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know about that.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. The only person that I probably miss off of that defense
is Simon.
Because
Simon was a dog.
Watch Arvell Reese, bro. He make you forget about him, though. He make you forget about him. I like Cody Simon. Lathan Ransom was the guy I was looking for.
Okay.
Lathan Ransom knocked out everybody. Yeah. Lathan Ransom knocked out everybody in the playoffs outside of the Notre Dame. Everybody. Every team they played in the playoffs last year, they knocked him out. He knocked your boy out. Simpson. He got knocked out. Lathan Ransom.
Dillion Simpson?
Yeah. In the playoffs. Knocked him out. Made him take his helmet off, and he set the rest of the game, bro.
Justin, why I gotta catch it?
Hey, but even then, like the Notre Dame quarterback, he hit him, bro. Dude, they interviewed him like months later, and he was like, "That hit I took from Lathan Ransom, I barely got up." So yeah, they gonna be all right, man.
Yeah, I mean they got the best defensive player in the country in Caleb Downs. So
show.
You know what I mean,
the linebacker core has never been like this though. We got two guys that can cover space and everything else. So I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, and you said y'all got Minnesota this week?
Yeah, we got Minnesota this week.
Is it at Minnesota or
no at home?
Oh, okay, it should be.
We should be good.
Should beat them.
Jeff, your Vols won.
Yeah,
shout out to the Vols and OT, right?
In the shootout, man. Hey,
shootout.
Mississippi State, man. Mississippi State is a tough team.
They are. They ain't bad, man.
They beat South Carolina earlier this year. You know what I mean? A big SEC win for them. But I will say this. The best thing that happened in Tennessee is Nico transferring.
For sure.
They, find the diamond in the rough, because everybody was saying, well, if Nico transfers, then who's going to be the guy? Because I was asking, like, well, who's going to be the quarterback?
But this is the crazy part. They forced Nico out.
Well, they told him, hey, we're not going to pay you that money. That's what they told him.
Right. But I think, from my understanding, he gave him an ultimatum. And they said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. We good. And if I'm not mistaken, he did the thing where, it's crazy. He did the thing Michael Parsons did, where he kind of came back and was like, hey, maybe we could work something. They like, nah, we good. Yeah, don't need to come to practice no more.
bro, and that's the crazy thing, right? Like one thing my mama told me, and this was after me and my girlfriend broke up. This is an old girlfriend. It's not like a recent girlfriend, but it's like when I was young, like she was like, Mario, well, what happened? I told her the situation, and basically it was almost the same thing. Like gave her an ultimatum, and we split ways, and I tried to double back. Like I tried to double back, but
hey.
But hold on.
He's a bona fide double backer.
No, I'm not. But yeah,
Pause.
big pause. Yeah, but nah. So she said, "Hey, one thing you never do, never give a girl you never give anybody an ultimatum like that you're in a relationship with, because what happens if they go the other way? Then you got to live with that."
Yeah.
So same thing with Nico, man. Like, and now look at him, man. Like this dude.
Joey Aguilar.
I think they said dude was like a 3-star quarterback coming out of high. Is that true, Jeff?
Yeah,
he was like a 2 or 3-star
quarterback. 3-star quarterback.
Yeah, coming out of high school. And
Josh Heupel know how to find some quarterbacks that can sling it though, bro. That's one thing I can say. Josh Heupel is gonna find him one of them, and he gonna find him a couple killer wide receivers.
Bro, Chris Brazil, crazy. Hey,
he gonna keep a couple of them speedster killer wide receivers, bro.
You go from Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman to this, bro. Like,
yeah,
they doing something in Tennessee, man. I
fuck with it, bro.
And it's, I don't know if it's because of the side of the SEC that they're on that we kind of, I ain't gonna say they get lost because they were just in the playoffs, but it's just not one of those top tier SEC schools that people talk about with the Georgia and Alabamas. But maybe it's time to reconsider, even coming off of that loss to Georgia. Maybe this is a team that can end up in the SEC championship.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying earlier, like I got them in that tier 1 level because, bro, they balled. Even the Georgia game, like that could have been a winning game for them.
It should have been.
It was a field goal missed away from winning that game. Like now we're talking about they 5-0.
Yeah.
And we're talking about there probably being a top 5 team in the country, to be honest. Because then that means you would have had some good wins. So they got them at 15th though. That's wild, bro.
But I mean, I think that
maybe beat a 4-1 a 4-0 Mississippi State team. And I'm not saying like Mississippi State is great, but like they were 4-1. 4-0 going into the game.
And they beat a top 25 team in South Carolina.
Yeah. But when you start to lose, I think they're gonna start taking that into consideration of even though you beat a ranked team at the time.
Well, you can only play the teams that you play with. Like you never know like what the team is gonna look like towards the end of the season. So
sure.
I'm not gonna say I hate, but like because at some point you have to say, okay, was this win really that great of a win based upon what they did? But at the time, that's where you had that's where they're ranked at. You know what I mean? Like you can't these teams can't control where other teams are ranked at,
right.
who put them in that position, right?
For sure.
It's just like the beginning of the season. Texas was the number 1 team in the country.
Right.
But were they really the number 1 team in the country?
No, sir.
Ohio State was coming off a national championship and probably got a better team.
For sure. That's a fact.
But again, so to say that okay, they beat the number 1 team in the country, shit. What if Tennessee beats a team that was ranked in the top 5, but then the team's not even ranked when they play them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point they were ranked top 5 though. Like is that win still as valuable?
I think it won't be. I think they're going to start taking in consideration not only when you beat them, how they finish at the end of the season. That's how the playoff committee is going to take it anyway.
And I don't know. I'm not a fan of that though.
I am a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of that
because here's why I'm a fan of it. A team like Texas most probably thought that they weren't a football fan that's not in the SEC media and is not into big. It's not big into what the mainstream media says. Most probably would have said Texas is not a number 1 team in the country. So they get the plan, and we really find out by week 6, week 7, we really know who you are. So I don't want to give you credit to a certain extent of saying, hey, you be the number 1 team in the country, When come to find out, they might be a 2-3 loss team where they really that good. Preseason rankings to me don't matter.
I agree.
They shouldn't matter.
I agree with preseason.
They should start ranking teams, probably after week 2, week 3, week 4, you start to know who the teams are. And if you've done it for 4 weeks, this kind of another thing. If you've done it for 4 weeks, who's to say that what is going to drastically change in the next 6 to 10 weeks? You've done it for 4 weeks already. At some point, reality has to sit that this may be the new Tennessee or Texas, or you know what I mean. But USC had a game as well, right?
Yeah, USC. It was a good game, but not necessarily for them. It didn't end well. But Illinois bounced back after getting slaughtered by Indiana, right?
Yeah,
about 50 points. Bounced back, and you got USC in a big noon game, which probably worked to their advantage.
Definitely did.
Worked to their advantage, right? Because you're already on what? They're on Central Time, but so it's a big noon kickoff. So it really kicked off at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's noon Eastern Time, 11 Central Time. But on the West Coast, that's 9 o'clock a.m. So even though USC is flying in earlier, but their body still has to get accustomed to the time of the day.
For sure.
Like, are they fully acclimated to the time change? By the time that they play, and you got to go through practices, you know what I mean? Walkthroughs,
meetings, whatever.
Meetings, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You have to do like media stuff.
Well, if they smart, like Ohio State did to go to Washington, Ohio State left early. Ohio State left it Thursday instead of Friday.
Okay, well I'm sure that they left early too, but that's also, I think it's a lot different too though, because Ohio State's game was later.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a noon kickoff.
Yeah.
That's gonna affect them more than the time change is gonna affect Ohio State playing at 3:30.
Well, here we are again though. Another guy, Lincoln Riley, who can't win a big game. Like, that's becoming a trend of this pod when we talk about these teams in college football, bro.
Yeah, but this one you can't put on the players, man. I don't know if you like. I got to watch the end of that game like in full, because obviously I was working. You know what I mean? I kept up on my phone. You know what I mean? Trying to keep up with the drives, but dog, their quarterback is nice, man. Jay might be.
Yeah, he nice. I like him.
Yeah.
The problem is the defense.
Oh well, yeah. That's
Lincoln Riley ain't never had no fucking defense, bro.
That's a Lincoln Riley thing.
Like, these guys, look at this, bro.
But we said that would affect him when they
gave up 502.
We said that would affect him though, right? When he left for Oklahoma, went to USC, and then USC just so happened to be going into the Big Ten.
I just thought going into the Big Ten, they talked about they were going to, especially this year, right? They was going to train different. They was going to try to bulk up to kind of.
Every coach says that. We always going to train different. Yeah. This is what we doing. We doing this differently. We doing that differently. But no.
One gave up 171 on the ground. Jeez, old Pete, bro. You got to be better than that. Got to be better than that.
But I mean,
Luke Altmaier was 20 for 26, 328, 2 tutties.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, what hurt them, man? Illinois really controlled their game in the second half.
They did.
They controlled their game in the second half, man, and that's where I think that it kind of like it got away from Lincoln Riley. Like he got out coaching it at the tail end of that game.
And a lot of if you ain't, especially the Big Ten teams, I think. More so than any of the other teams. And I think Georgia tried to do it a little bit. But these teams are starting to understand how important it is to run the football. Because that changes things like the clock's running. It's not stopping after a first down anymore unless I think you're under 2 minutes in the second and the fourth quarter. Yeah. So, like, those are things that is, like, changing the game. And it's good to see that a lot of these teams are starting to be more innovative in realizing that you can kind of cut the possessions down. I think Ohio State had 6 possessions in the Washington game. That's crazy. For them to offensively have 6 possessions. 6 possessions of offense. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. In a game. So like the running game is starting to become more important in college and taking care of the ball. And
well, it's always been important, but the way the teams were kind of playing,
True.
they were starting to move away from that, thinking that this air attack was going to carry. But no, like it's getting back to we got to get back like the roots of football when you first start out. Literally, what are you doing all like the whole game? You don't want to be a wide receiver because you're just gonna block. You know what I mean? Like, but now the kids are throwing the ball, which is crazy. I go to I've seen little league games.
Nah, they slang
kids
it.
are throwing the ball now.
My nephew's 6, bro, and he played quarterback and he throwing the ball.
Yeah, I remember, when I started playing little league and I was older. I started playing when I was 9. Bro, we had a few pass plays, but not that many. Yeah. Our quarterback was running, or we were doing it like we're doing some form of option. Yeah, and most of the wide receivers were blocking 80% of the time, 80 to 90.
It's cool, man.
Thank God I was a running back.
But that was a good wrap up of last week's games, man. I think it was some good games that we definitely saw. Obviously, real quick, Florida State falls to Virginia
in overtime.
In overtime, so we'll see if Florida State can bounce back this week as well. Yeah, I don't know if they kind of.
I want to see how they handle the loss. Like,
yeah, let's see.
Like that's the main thing. Like, I still think that they can win the ACC. I don't think Georgia Tech goes undefeated. So I do. I mean, they struggled against Wake Forest, but they escaped and found a way to win. But my thing is, I want to see because I think Florida State has the talent, but how do they react to the loss? Are they going to overreact to the loss?
Who do Georgia Tech play though? Like. The ACC ain't got that many motherfucking good teams in the league. Look at that.
But Duke's still undefeated. Syracuse is a tough team.
Syracuse ain't been the Syracuse of last year, but yeah. So outside of playing Georgia, bro, that's their only game, I think.
No, it's not. I won't lie to you. Pitt, especially if that game at Pitt.
No.
Oh no. It's at Georgia Tech. But Pitt is a team I can see because they're able to score at a high clip.
And I think
the scary thing about Georgia Tech, though, man, I'm telling you, if they're in a situation like the team is not good enough they can overcome really bad. Like, it's some teams that they can win despite having a bad game. They've played really well up to this point. If they get into a situation where they're having a bad game, they're not gonna win that game. Because of the way that they play.
That's why I like how they was able to scrap and come back and claw because they was down in Wake Forest.
I know they were.
So for them to come back and win in OT, I like that. We'll kind of pay attention to them over the next couple weeks to see what they look like. But with the schedule and what they got left, if they can run the table and lose to Georgia, they definitely in the title game for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. But let's turn our direction to the NFL.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's start out talking about the big news, right? Let's talk about the AFC North as a whole.
Okay,
because that's exactly what the conversation is going through. The AFC North.
So real quickly, we're starting to see that Pittsburgh might be one of the dominant teams in the AFC North.
3-1.
3-1, leading the division. Probably one of the best. No, ain't no probably. Is the best defensive team in that conference right now. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is.
That's not saying a lot though.
It's not. Well, they defense pretty decent though. Patrick Quinn and them boys, I think is they doing their thing for sure. And then you talk about hell at this point right now anyway. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the division. Holy fucking shit!
At 40 years old.
At 40 years old. Now, obviously, that's because
shout out to Aaron Rodgers, man.
Lamar Jackson will not play this week and probably will miss a couple weeks. But the absence of Joe Burrow and not knowing what the hell's going on in Cleveland,
Well, we know what's going on in Cleveland.
We do.
Joe Flacco's getting benched.
Joe Flacco is also benched, so I guess we're just gonna go through it. Joe Flacco is also benched as well. Dylan Gabriel has been named the starter. Joe Flacco is now the second team quarterback. They did not move Shador up, which is crazy, but that might just be to appease Joe Flacco because in so many ways, I'm not going to say that Joe Flacco necessarily lost the job, but he necessarily didn't go win the job in these 4 weeks. And like we've always talked, he was that bridge guy to really try to get them through everything. He's only been able to get them through 4 of the games, but they still got, 2 tough opponents. And I think this week they turn around and I think the Browns has Detroit.
No.
Bengals got Detroit this week. The Browns got Minnesota this week over the pond. And then they turn around and they have Pittsburgh the following week. Yep. So we might be on the Browns might be on the verge of starting 3 quarterbacks in one season.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them making the transition this week. But I just think it's bad timing for Dillon Gabriel.
I think it is too, but at the same time, I think this is all the plan for them to make sure that they give an opportunity to Shedeur. I truly do. I don't understand and like some of the things that he's doing in the media. I think he just kind of just fall back a little bit. But other than that, like just stay focused and be ready for your opportunity, because it looked like your opportunity is gonna come.
That's all right, but that's I don't know. That's almost awkward, right? Because you said you think that this is basically like a ploy for them to give.
Yeah, I think it is.
But why? Like, why not just? I mean, because let's be honest. They're the ones who put themselves in this position
by drafting 2 quarterbacks in the same year.
Not only that, but after preseason, they could have named Shedeur the number 2 quarterback. They named him the 3, and I don't know if they felt like they had to because they drafted Dillon Gabriel ahead of him.
But let's also know this: we do know that sometimes them calls ain't. They might have went with Stefanski's call from the beginning, but now this might be a call from up top. Like, hey, get Joe out of here. We done seen enough. Now we got to go with Dillion to see what's going on. And if Dillion don't cut it, you better go ahead and go to Shedeur.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the thing, right? I think, well, for one, you want to give both guys ample time, right? Because if Dillon Gabriel's not if he's not
progressing,
if he's not at least having them be competitive, then you go to Shedeur, right? And you see what he has. Yeah, you give them both ample amount of games.
Because let's be honest, even though Stefanski just, I think he was it 2 years ago he got Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
But it ain't different, and he just got an extension. I think a year or two after that, he might have got it the same year he won Coach of the Year. But like him and the GM might also who got the extension together, they might end up being like, hey, we got to figure something out, because we got, even though we're bad, we have an opportunity where we could be the third best team in this division. And if we play our hands right and we can find some offense eventually, we could sneak our ass into the playoff, a wild card team. Like, so I respect it for them to try to figure it out, because if you could figure it out and get close to a 500 team, you might be able to get yourself in the playoffs.
I won't lie to you. I don't know how many Browns games or how much of the Cleveland Browns you've watched this season. I've watched a decent amount myself. But the offense just looks flat. And I like Joe. You know what I mean? I respect Joe Flacco for who he is. But I think it's a difference. Like, yeah, he's the veteran quarterback. And he's got all this experience. You know, last time he played with him, he had this little magical run. And I think a lot of people were thinking that was going to come back. No, it's not coming back.
Well, the offensive line is not as good. And Joe can't move in the pocket. Like, he old, bro. Like, this is one of the ones where it's like Cal's saying of old niggas need to chill. He need to sit down. He do. He need to sit down. And we knew he needed to sit down, but we thought that he would be the best bridge.
Yeah, which he was. Yeah.
Which I think you probably really wanted him to get through the 6 games.
Yeah.
He got you through 4. Let's see what you can do. Now that, because the pressure is on them to kind of win, right? Like you beat a team like Green Bay, who you didn't anticipate on beating. And then you turn around and you go play Detroit and you get kind of slacked about 24 points against Detroit. So, and even then, it wasn't really Joe Flacco, but you need a spark. You need something offensively. You need Dillon Gabriel to be the run scramble and get the first down. You need a Shador to potentially go do that. Like, so you got to figure that out.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, you're right, and that's what I said. Like when I was, when I would watch the games, like the offense just looked kind of flat. Like guys didn't look like you can tell when other players are like, yo, like we got something.
Yeah.
Nobody on offense looked like that.
No.
The defense
defense
is
sure.
lit. You know what I mean?
The defense is lit.
The defense is lit, but you know what happens if the defense is on the field too long? At some point, they're gonna start getting beat.
Yeah,
because they fucking tired.
True.
So, and I think that's pretty much what it is with the Browns. The defense they're good, but they're out there so long because the offense can't do shit on offense that they always punting the ball away or turning the ball over.
That's a fact.
And I just feel like it's a bad position for Dillion Gabriel because Minnesota's like the number one team to get into the quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to blitz the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian Flores has blitzed everybody, especially backup quarterbacks or young guys. So he's going to try to take advantage of him and see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, shit. And there's another deficit because Minnesota already been overseas this whole time.
Yeah,
they
right.
ain't flew, you know what I mean? They ain't had to come back.
Yeah.
So, but Cleveland, they got to go get acclimated to the time change over there. But, thankfully they do leave earlier in the week, so they have more time. But it still puts them at a disadvantage. I think Dillion Gabriel got potential to do something, but it's just, to me, I think it's going to be a real tough gig. And you got the pressure because you got Shador waiting in the wings, and every little mistake you make is just going to be another question from the media or from, you know what I mean? And then or something even in his mind might be like, yo, I can't make a mistake.
Hey, going back to the quarterback psyches, like mine start playing tricks on you. You start looking over your shoulder. It can get ugly quick.
And one thing I know about me, because I'm kind of like that. Like whenever I feel like I'm in a position where I can't make mistakes, is when I make the most.
Well, speaking about somebody else who's making mistakes in the AFC North,
A lot of people.
we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Zach Taylor.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, Zach, I think me and Mario has been on this train for at least over 2 years now, but it's time. The Brown family, you got to get rid of this dude. This dude flat out quit last week on prime time.
Yeah.
Like a team that the Denver Broncos, don't get me wrong, won 28-3, but they didn't do much.
Nah, they really in the 28-3, it looks bad because Denver started to score at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But it was a winnable game at halftime.
Do you know that was the first time, and I think a long time, that the Denver Broncos had a rushing running back over 100 yards? That's crazy. I think it was like at least a year and a half, 2 years of a season. That's crazy, bro.
What was the last running back for them to go over 100? Was it
Probably Javonte Williams, but
it was Javonte Williams or what's the running back who came from Wisconsin? He ain't even in the league. No
Melvin
more.
Gordon.
Melvin Gordon. I think Melvin Gordon. It was either him or Javonte Williams.
Click on.
Go to show more.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. See if it shows somebody else.
Oh no, Latavius Murray.
Jesus,
Yeah.
2022.
Yep.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy work.
Latavius Murray's retired now.
Mhm.
Shit.
That is crazy work, bro.
But yeah, no, and look, I will say this. I was even hopeful that they would show me more than they showed against Minnesota. But even though the score was closer, they looked worse.
Yeah, but it looks bad when you 2 for 11 on third down. When you got 159 total offense. Like, you can't win ball games like that. Like, and I've said this before, and I think I'm going to stay on it like 0 for 1 in red zone attempts. So that means you only got to the red zone one time in a game?
Look at the time of possession. Look at the time of possession. Bro, I will tell you this. One thing I know is that when you can control the clock, especially when you don't have a great quarterback, like you just want somebody to manage the game, he has to manage the game, right? Like, and a lot of things in football or even sports in general are all based off momentum.
You know all that too well, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Game management.
Game management, and that's and it's I'll tell you this though, it's nothing wrong with being a game managing quarterback, right? Like,
No, if that's your lane.
If that's your lane, yeah. Like and
at some point,
that's Jake Browner's lane, but as a head coach, he has to know that you can't go out there and treat Jake like he Joe, because he's not.
Nah, the only hard part about this is you can't, right? But you also have to figure out ways. You got to be smart enough and figure out ways to get your guys the ball in that situation.
You know how you do that? With play action pass, because when you manage in the game, you're handing the ball off more. Yeah. Now people starting to come up in the box test. They're like, oh, well, they're handing the ball off more. Yeah. They're running the ball more, right?
But the run offense is ass, bro.
Because they're not patient enough to let it open up.
That's true. I'm with you. I'm with you. But that offensive line is atrocious.
It is.
That offensive line, and again, I said this going into the season, right? They have played different set of 5 linemen since Joe has been here.
Yes.
And it hasn't gotten any better.
But that's the reason why, because they're continuing to change it out. There's no continuity there. Like,
agreed. No, for sure.
You know what I mean? And one thing about offensive line, they move in unison. They know how other parts of the offensive line work, right? Like when you have one that's established or stable enough, then they'll say, okay, well, I know when he swings, he likes to come out this much. You know what I mean? Right. Or I know he's fast enough to get through that gap. And that's the difference here, because now when you start to rotate guys in and out because you're like, oh, that's not working, you're not even giving it a real opportunity to work. You're just basing it off of that small sample size. Even though they look bad then, they're not allowed to grow together. Yeah,
and I'm going to say this, and this is where I think Zach Taylor needs to be fired, and it's bad coaching there, right?
Yeah.
There's three times I felt like this. The one play was when Bo Nix scored in a rushing touchdown. They were, I think, either 4 or 5 wide. They sent the running back out. Them motherfuckers played 2 high man with 3 down linemen. Nobody has quarterback. Why the fuck do you have 2 high in the red zone? I think they was on like the 13. That's 1. I don't get it. Zach Taylor, the game out of hand, you haven't created no momentum.
Well,
it's 4th and 3, and you don't go for it.
I agree.
And if you, at minimum, Zach, you create momentum for the next week.
Bro,
that's bad coaching again.
If you go back to the first scoring drive, they were on the 8-yard line. It was 4th and 1, and you kick a field goal. Bro, you're on the road. You have opportunity, because you know what happens. Even if you don't convert, Bo Nix has got to drive 92 yards down the other way.
Yes, you know the third play that just did it for me. They were in empty. The Bengals were in empty.
On what down?
I think it might have been 2nd or 3rd down. Browning throws the ball in like they blitz him, like they're showing blitz. This motherfucker ain't checked down to nothing.
Not even the disguise blitz, huh?
He knew where he was coming from. He threw the shit right in his hand. He batted that shit down easy as hell. I'm like, bro, they didn't check anything. They tried to run some dumbass like hitch. Like, bro, just run a now route or do a fucking tunnel screen. You know the blitz coming in there man to man. Like, I just don't understand, bro. It's like they don't know football.
Which is crazy. You got them running man against you. You got probably the best wide receiver duo in the league.
Bro, I just saw a clip
and they blitzing?
I just saw Jamar Chase with your boy Steve Smith. And one of the clips they talked about was one of the screenplays that they ran out of trips. And Jamar Chase was the number 3 guy inside in the slot. And it had two tight ends blocking. And he turned his back. So Steve Smith says, bro, why did you turn your back? He was like, bro, one, I got a security catch. That's my main goal. That's how they want us to run it. But I like the fact that I trust the two best blockers on my team to block. It was against the Ravens that play. He caught the screen, went in between the two blockers, scored touchdown. I think it was like a 60-some yard touchdown. He ain't dialing none of that shit up.
But it was
you gotta find ways to chase the ball.
Who was the quarterback though?
That was Joe Burrow at the time. Yeah,
and Joe Burrow probably made that call.
Probably
in the huddle.
It's crazy,
like
bro.
you know what I mean. But I think that I think that's one thing a lot of people are able to see now. Like I think a lot of the success that the Bengals were having was Joe almost masking how bad Zach Taylor is. I mean,
100%. We knew that though.
Yeah.
We knew that. That like, I mean, the talent there, and then also like when you're able to get. See, this is why these crazy diabolical Bengal fans up here talking about Joe Burrow MVP and he out. Like, it's just as much as they need Joe. They also need Joe to get a ball to their guys. Like, if you get the ball to Jamar Chase, he's one of the most specialist wide receivers in football right now. He could take a 1 yard play or a screen play behind the line of scrimmage and take it to the house.
But you got to have somebody to dial up the plays to get him the ball.
True. And you got to recognize, you got to read the defenses, get in and out of your checks.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's like I don't know if Jake is necessarily confident enough to go out there and call audibles and stuff like that at the line. Like I don't know if that's his lane, right?
Jake better take his ass to Steak Farm. You better get on there and be part of the State Farm crew with the other Jake. Go put you some khakis on and a red State Farm polo, because playing quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals ain't it.
I don't know. I was talking to somebody today about this team. Do you think that this team, like, 'cause right now I see maybe, like, I see the ceiling. If Jake is the quarterback for the remainder of the season, maybe 6 wins. Maybe. Hey, I think that's the ceiling.
Hey, bro.
I think that's the ceiling.
Hey, we tried this to get to 10.
I think
we tried it to get to 8, and I think we got to 7. I am on the limb of saying, hello, if Browning is going to be the guy for the rest of the year, we might not see the Bengals win a game.
Yeah, they will. They'll win a game. Like I said, I think the ceiling is.
Let's do this, and I'm glad you want to do it. I'm glad let's go. Detroit lost. Green Bay lost. Pittsburgh lost. New York.
Hold on.
Man.
Hold on.
Oh, man.
Talking about a home game.
Jake Browning is Thursday night. Prime time.
Hold on.
Under the lights.
Thursday night.
He ain't ready for the lights. We just saw what he did in Denver. I don't give a fuck if it's at home. It's more pressure. He got his wife.
And that's a division game.
Give me Pittsburgh.
I'm saying that's a winnable game. I'm not saying they win that game, but that's a winnable game.
You gonna say 50-50 or 60-40?
I'm gonna say
if you say anything that's not 50-50, it's to Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna say 50-50 on that.
All right, I'll give you a shaky. All right, New York lost. Chicago, the way Chicago's been playing.
You don't think they can beat the Jets?
Hell no.
If you don't think we could beat the Jets, you probably don't think we could beat any other team.
I just said I don't think that the Cincinnati Bengals can win another game.
No, I think that
that was me being real. I wasn't trying to troll or.
They can. All right, so lost to the.
Have y'all seen what the Bears look like? The Cowboys, yes, the Cowboys have gave them life by allowing them to fucking beat them as bad as they did.
Yeah, but
the Bears look good this past week.
But that was at home too, though. You talking about it's gonna be a home game for the Bengals, like, and they number one corner is out for the whole year.
Hey, Mario,
bro, Jalen Johnson's out for the whole year.
Mario,
I'm sorry,
listen,
bro. That's a 50-50 game.
Chicago, in Cincinnati, in Kentucky, at a high school football field, in fucking Mexico, over the pond. I don't believe in this Cincinnati Bengals team. And I'm going to tell you this. Zach Taylor has lost this team, and this team They don't have no fight, bro. There's not no leadership there anymore. When Joe left, Joe took every lead he boned in that team, and he's out with them.
All right, so then they have a bye week 10. Week 11, they go to Pittsburgh. That's a loss. That's Pittsburgh. Versus New England. At Baltimore, if Lamar back or if Lamar not playing, I don't care. I'm going Baltimore.
Thank you.
Buffalo is Buffalo. Baltimore here is Baltimore. Miami is the next game that's winnable. That's a winnable game.
You're still
it's Miami.
Is it 50-50 or is it 60-40?
It's 50-50 because Tyreek Hill is out the rest of the year too.
Again, if it's 50-50, I'm cool. I'm still sticking with it because you ain't said 60-40 and you ain't said 60-40 the Bengals way or the opponent way.
Nope, it's 50-50.
Arizona.
Shit, it depends on who the quarterback is.
See what I'm saying?
But I'm going to go Arizona in that game.
Thank you. Cleveland.
No. It depends on who the quarterback is. If Shador starting by week 18, I'm going with Cleveland.
Hey.
They got a better defense.
Hey, dog, it's time to fire Zach Taylor.
Yeah, no. Zach Taylor should have been fired. Like, Zach Taylor is the head coach because the only person, I ain't going to say the only person, but he's the head coach still because they went to the Super Bowl and Joe Burrow is okay with him being a head coach still.
Well, that's the Cincinnati way though too, right? Like to dwell on, hey, we've been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's the Cincinnati way.
I agree.
Like they dwell on, like the Reds played. Shout out, I wore the Reds today. They made it to the playoffs. They about to get their ass beat again, probably by the Dodgers. They lost 10-5 yesterday. But like that's the thing is everybody gonna be like, oh, we should be better next year. We made it to the playoffs this year. Hey, listen. Unless you make drastic changes, you are going to be still the same who you are this year as you were next year.
Well, the problem with Cincinnati sports are they all are on the same accord of what success is, right? Like as success
is being better than the norm.
Yeah, well, and for them, like, and this not because I'm from Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati sports too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a Bengals fan, but being a fan of other teams who've had some success, right?
Yeah.
Like when the Eagles make the playoffs, like I'm okay, but I know that's not the end goal for Cincinnati fans. Like when they made it to the Super Bowl, everybody was like, "We fucking lit" because we didn't know we could do that.
Prime like, example too is like
it's good enough to be good enough for Cincinnati fans.
You see Bearcats fans basketball or still living off the glory of Kenyon Martin days. That's crazy.
Yeah.
At some point, you should have found another moment that said from 96 to now, like, hey, we have a moment. The football team had a moment. They went into the college football playoffs, and they're going to cherish that fucking moment for probably the next 100 years.
Well, but the thing is, even with the Bengals, though, right? Like, the Marvin Lewis tenure should tell you something. Like, we're good enough for being good enough. Yeah. Like, we're a playoff team. That's okay. We're a playoff team. Like, all right, but are you a Super Bowl contender?
At some point, you have to try to
compete for a title, like a championship.
Yeah, you gotta kind of go from pretender to contender.
Well, the thing, because for the longest, but can you knock them though? Because think about how long the Bengals were bad, right?
Yeah,
through the entire 90s. And then the early 2000s, then you find somebody who can bring a little bit of light or success, in Marvin Lewis, right? So it was never even initially about can we contend for a Super Bowl? Can we contend for our division? Yeah. Think about it, when I was a kid, a lot of people were just talking about the Bengals competing for winning the AFC North. As an Eagles fan, bro, I never was like, we gotta win the NFC. We won the NFC East this year. Like,
what Drake say? There ain't no awards for that.
Yeah, how many banners they got down there for division titles? I remember when people were wearing the shirts, the AFC. It was like 2005 AFC North Championship. I was like, they got shirts.
They probably started it. Then. That's when they started to do the trend for division winners. Like they.
I never seen the shirt for a division title. To that point. For a conference title, yeah, AFC champions, like nah, AFC North champions.
They put them shirts on when they won, and then they said, "Mass produce this. We're gonna make some money.
Hey. This
might be the last time."
but that's why I said I can't necessarily knock them because that's the mindset of Cincinnati fans. But that's gonna leak over into what they feel about the Bengals because now I think if I'm the fans or shit, if I'm gonna be real with you, I think Joe Burrow is gonna make a call on Zach Taylor this year if they don't turn the shit around.
Oh yeah, I already think the call was made. If you hear the report coming out last week, Joe Burrow says, "I am not rushing to come back this season." That's the call. Yeah. That's the call. That's the fact. That's the call.
You think that's the call?
That's the call. Hey, I ain't coming back to play for this dude. It's a wrap.
Well, yeah, because
I'm done.
Yeah, and I think that he might necessarily like him, but he can't win with it.
Yeah.
He don't feel like he can win with it.
Yeah, you could like somebody enough to still. Yeah. I'm sure you loved a chick enough to say "fuck you." I'm gone. I ain't about to. Yeah. I'm sick of your shit or whatever it might be. So for sure. I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
I can love you from afar.
Or it's just even like you can like, hey, I'm cool with this person. I just can't work with him.
That too. That's a fact.
You a cool person. It ain't gonna work out.
It ain't gonna work out. But we have some other games to get to as well. I don't want Jeff to feel like we piling on him because he ain't got a mic, but you should have took the mic. But that's neither here or there. But there was quite a few games that was across the league last week. There was good games, man. And I think outside of the Monday night matchups that we had.
Yeah, it was a hell of a game in Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers Sunday night football.
Hey, man, at some point, bro, like I just like, and I meant to go at you last week about this. You came at coaching when you talked about the Dallas Cowboys, I think
I sure did.
I think the coaching part of it is not on the offensive side, nor I don't think is the head coach just yet. It's too early to tell. From that standpoint, from the head coach, I think the issue relies on the defense and Matthew Eberflus. He was terrible in fucking Chicago.
And I told you he was going to be terrible.
He was going to be terrible here. But I think we just saw Dak Prescott play his best game of his career.
Oh,
yes. I think that was one of the because if you look at the game, Michael Parsons had no opportunity to get to Dak. And he praised Dak after the game and said, hey, that was a hell of a game because if you didn't get the ball out as quick as you did or get into your checks and reads as quick as you did, it would have been a longer night. We saw Dak go 31 for 40, 319, and 3 touchdowns. No turnovers and only took 1 sack. And he was kind of scrambling for that sack that Micah got. That really was the game-saving touchdown for them to really win that game, bro. So I like the offensive game plan. They ran the ball. Javonte Williams is doing pretty well. He ran for he averaged 4.3 yards a carry. They were able to get George Pickens involved. That was big to me. Like, I think that was big for his confidence. George, as Cal say, Jorge had 8 catches for 134 and 2 touchdowns. Like, I'm really impressed with. Even though it's a tie, I hate ties. I think they should do away with ties. They should continue to keep playing. At least make them go for 2 points when you score. Something like that to kind of like incentivize them or go to the 2-point play until you're done. But I like what the offense did in this game. They fought back defensively. They were able to kind of, I think, bog them down from the run game. The numbers don't show it as much, but like they really kind of slowed them down in the run game and didn't allow Jacobs to go too crazy on them. But in the same time, the DBs is just, the safeties is terrible, bro. They got to get new safeties because Cal keeps saying that the corners is fine. They ain't as bad, but it's the safeties, bro. They old, bro. It's time to get Malik Hooker and fucking what's his name up out of there, bro. They need some youth. And one of the things that I think Jerry need to make right now is Jerry need to call Atlanta Falcons
For Jesse Bates?
and ask them, what do you want for Jesse Bates? Jerry need to make that call. Because the defensive line ain't as bad. We need some help in the back end, bro.
Well,
And that's a fact.
I won't even lie to you. I don't even think it's the player. I think it's the scheme. I
That
do.
too, Matt.
Like,
he is terrible.
yeah,
bro.
like it's a reason that he lost his job in Chicago. He should have lost it sooner. Do I think that he's capable of being a good coach somewhere?
Yeah.
I just don't like. But for the Cowboys, no. Like the scheme not working for the players that they have, because every player don't work well in every scheme.
Look at that third down efficiency for Green Bay. 10 for 14.
Yeah. And,
Jeez.
But this is the thing though, right? Like this was a great game to show how good. Like remember, we would always, when we were trying to tell Cal, like, no, Dak is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You're doing this without your best receiver in CD Lamb. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's it. To me, that says more. So yeah, do I think that Dak is a top 10 quarterback? I would put him closer to that 6 to 8 range. I still have an issue with the head coach, man. I just don't. I don't see it. Like I think that they overreacted and fired Mike McCarthy too soon, or did they just not extend him?
No, they just didn't extend him anymore. It was it.
You give him another opportunity, even if it's a 2-year deal. You give him another opportunity because you have something.
Yeah, and I know you kind of like Mike McCarthy, but I feel like if you did that right, it's kind of like putting them in the sense of and going in the direction with the Bengals a little bit, right? Like, because at some point, I get it, and I was cool with the 12 wins, but like at some point, now that 12 wins need to turn into a playoff win. Now that 12 wins need to turn into multiple playoff wins. Now that 12 wins need to turn into playing in the conference championship.
I agree.
I like the energy and what I see around this team based on the new coach in Schottenheimer. I think he's more of a player coach, and he's allowing, like, that's why I think we're starting to see the best of Dak, the best version of Dak. You look at the yards, the first 4 games, like, Dak's playing fucking phenomenal, bro.
I agree.
He started out, the Philly game was a little bit hard, but I think
that was a chess match. Though.
Yeah, that was a chess match type of game, but like he is playing his ass off, and I think he has a different. You see a different vibe of him. He answers questions in the media a little bit different. So I'm excited, bro. I'm definitely excited.
No, and I agree. And you should be like. I think that
Offensive leading and passing.
Yeah, but again, I agree. I do think that we are seeing. A lot of great things.
Oh, I wish Cal was here to see that shit, bro. I wish he was here to see that.
He gonna be watching somewhere.
Click on. Do they got like? Can we see like the everything else? This is where I hate ESPN
You go to complete leaders.
When you go to it does do everything. Yeah. So who's leading in touchdowns? Ain't Dak. He got 6. He close though. Damn, 10 with Lamar. God damn. I ain't realized Lamar was at 10-1 ratio. She been sacked 15 times though. God damn.
Look who number 3.
Aaron Rodgers. Shout out to A-Rod.
Future MVP.
Who number 17?
Look at
where Jake Brown in at?
Number 17, Jalen Hurts. Yeah. Damn.
How many interceptions he got?
He got 0, but fuck, bro.
Okay.
Six touchdowns. That motherfucker down there averaging a touchdown a game.
Damn, Geno Smith got 7 interceptions. He got more interceptions than Jalen Hurts got touchdowns. Shit.
And that used to be his best thing.
He
didn't turn the ball over.
Look at Jake Brown up there in interceptions. Look at him.
Can you
third in interceptions?
Sort QB the writing here to the right. Yeah. Writing. Just the other one, yeah.
Look at number 10. Look at number 10.
Damn, bro. Lamar Jackson off to another MVP type of year, bro.
Bro, yeah,
that defense got them names, but they ain't it yet, bro.
Well, I mean,
and you could kind of give them time, but jeez, Pete, bro.
But let's be honest though, since they lost their defensive coordinator to head coaching job in Seattle, they ain't the defense ain't really been like that.
That's a fact. That's
So
a fact. And Seattle defense, number one. Well, they're the number one fantasy defense in the league.
yeah, but
They doing their
But
thing
yeah,
in
no,
fantasy.
but it was a lot of good games this past week.
Yeah.
We saw the Indianapolis Colts go to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The Colts suffered their first loss, but it was a very good game. Another great game. The Giants, they started a rookie quarterback this past week in Jackson Dart. He took over and they got a win.
Against the undefeated Chargers, that was a big win.
But this right here is prime example of why it's okay sometimes to turn to a younger guy.
Mhm.
Like, and I don't necessarily think Russell was the biggest problem there. I still think the ball is, but sometimes, yeah, exactly, bro. Like, and other players are going. That's why I think Cleveland is. I'm not gonna say making a mistake, but I think they're doing themselves a disservice because you've even seen in the preseason it was more guys on that team that were energized behind Shador, willing to play with Shador. You know what I mean? Like, go out there to battle with Shador. Not saying that they don't like Dylan Gabriel, but I'm gonna be like, yo, who's gonna give us the best opportunity? Like, where we gonna get that spark from?
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think you get that from Shador.
To win that game against the Chargers team that's undefeated
and a very good defense.
Yeah, and Malik Neighbors gets knocked out with an ACL injury for the year. Like, you Scatterboo, like they Jackson Dart. Oh, he used his legs pretty good as well. But to use Darius Slayton and Theo Johnson and Wandale, they're gonna recount on him a little bit more probably. But they didn't really ask him to do too much, but they asked him to do enough just to win the game, and that's all you can hope for.
But even like if you were watching, dog, like you would see him go out there to the line, making audibles at the line, making changes, seeing things. Going to check downs when his first read not there. You know what I mean? But, like, it's those minor details that he's doing. I mean, and that's why I like Jackson Dart even coming out Ole Miss, because he's like, bro, he's big in stature for one. So he reads defenses down the field well.
But that's why you give him 3 games to kind of learn and sit through and understand and know what Russ has been doing and dealing with, so that now he can come in and he's able to have command of the offense and be able to get in and out of the checks that he needs and the reads, so that they could be able to have some success on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm definitely excited about how his future could be, and playing in the NFC East, bro. Yeah. Speaking of NFC East, you guys got a big win as well against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
That was definitely a big win. Still ain't liking how it's winning because of who I got on my fantasy team. But
I almost blew the lead too. Though.
Almost blew the lead.
Almost blew the game. But luckily, they escaped.
So here's my question to you though.
Okay, let's talk about it.
And I get that Jalen Hurts is doing like for an NFL team to win the game when a quarterback has 130 yards. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, is not good. It gives me flashbacks of seeing like a fucking Trent Dilfer, like seeing some of them old dudes and how they do it. Because if they don't jump off into this good start against a Tampa Bay team who's a good team, like I don't know, can they come back? And I'm not. I hate it. It takes fantasy football aside. I hate it because I think we started to see Jalen Hurts, like, he started to look like, as the playoffs went on, he started to look like he wasn't a fucking quarterback robot. And then he wins MVP in the Super Bowl, and then they turn around and put him back in the same fucking quarterback robot again. And it's like, at some point, you're going to need Jalen Hurts to go win a game. And I hope that he has the confidence to go win games down the stretch when you need to put it on him to go win, because it doesn't, in my opinion, it just doesn't look good.
All right, so this is my thing, right? And this is what I was going to tell you. Well, for one, I'll start with this part of the answer. Jalen Hurts, all right, he only threw for 130 yards in the win, right?
Yeah.
But let's go back to week 1. Minnesota, when they won that game, they were losing early on, and they came back to win. J.J. McCarthy, right? You would say he looked pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And bro, he only threw for 130 yards.
But I still didn't like
I understand what you're saying because it almost gives you like high school football statistics, like right?
It does.
It does. But in reality, let's talk about what Jalen Hurts is capable of doing, right? We know, like you just said, he won Super Bowl MVP. So in the big moments in the playoffs when they needed him to step up and make crucial plays, we saw that he was able to do that, right? True or false?
True. But like I think, and I'm not saying force him to be in the big moments, but I think a constant the opportunity of allowing him to make bigger plays can ultimately take him from being this game management quarterback to now he's in the conversations of some of the other quarterbacks around the league that's good or that's great.
Well, I think for them, I think they're saying, hey, we still got the best running game in the NFL. We got a pretty solid defense.
But that's not true.
Hold on.
They're not they're not even, I don't even think they're in top 10 in rushing this year.
Again.
So far.
Do you think Saquon is the best running back in the league? Is Saquon Barkley the best running back in the league?
I only can go off what you're giving me now.
Okay.
And see, that's the thing. But that's the thing that I don't think you see.
All right, so
I can only go off of what you're producing now.
What running? All right, so let me ask you a question. So would you take Jonathan Taylor? Would you draft Jonathan?
I did draft Jonathan Taylor.
I'm saying if you're starting a team today, not even take away fantasy football, you're starting a team today. Are you taking Jonathan Taylor before you take Saquon Barkley? Yeah, stop. Yeah, bro. Stop.
Hold on.
Bro.
But hold on.
And that's no disrespect to Jonathan Taylor because he's a great running back.
But what I was about to say was I was trying to think of what I was trying to say. Like that still doesn't prove to me at this point of right now. Okay. What does that prove?
What does that prove? It says that hey, we still got the most talented guy in the backfield.
I get
we can rely on him. We can control the clock.
There's a difference. There's a difference between performance, actual performance, and projection.
Yeah,
there's a big difference. Yeah. Right now in performance, if you scroll down because he ain't on this list yet. Right now in performance, he has 20. He's tied for 20th in rushing. Okay. Mix me with that fucking number one running back shit. He's not even in the top 10 in yards. So for you to say that the Philadelphia Eagles is still thinking we have the best rushing attack in football, you don't have the best rushing attack in football for the first 4 weeks. True or false?
I'm going to say that's false. I mean,
come on, bro. The numbers are there.
Yeah, based on
and his attempts is second in the league.
Yes, they are.
He averages 3.1 yards a carry. Go to averages. Let's see how many people average more than him.
Yeah, a lot.
Some of them don't count. Keep going down because them attempts is low.
Attempts are low.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to do it because that's the receivers.
But this is the thing though, right? That's gonna be lower. Because more people are going to do what? They're going to stack the box. True or false?
They're going to stack the box because you ain't throwing the ball deep.
But we ain't had but they haven't had to yet.
I'm not saying that.
And I understand it. Like
I'm saying when you turn around and play a team that's going to force you, you don't know. I see the trajectory that he was doing last year. Mm-hmm. That's cool. We in a whole nother season.
All right, so let me ask you a question, right? You go to prime example, right? You go to work every day.
Yes.
Every day you go to work.
Yes.
Before you got that job, you looked at and you read the job description, see what your job duties were, right? And when you go to work to clock in, you're saying, "Hey, this is what I'm paid to do. This is what they're asking me to do. This is what I'm gonna do." You're not going in there like, "Hey, you know what? Those floors dirty in the bathroom. Somebody go grab me a mop." That's not your job duty. Your job duties are to perform and do what tasks have been asked of you. Not to go and say, hey, you know what? The building kind of dirty today. I'm going to go clean these fucking windows. Bro.
When you get...
Nobody, you're not going to... Because that's not in your job description.
So when you get evaluated, right? You get evaluations. Yearly evaluations, right?
Yes.
Do you get evaluated? Is your evaluation carry over from year to year?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Your evaluations?
Your evaluation.
We get a yearly evaluation, bro.
You get a yearly evaluation, but what I'm saying is this. What I got evaluated for in 2024 no longer matters in my evaluation of 2025.
You're correct. But the job the job duties are still gonna remain the same. Because you have your job is your job. They're gonna evaluate you on doing specific things. The number one thing that they're evaluating Jalen Hurts on, can you help us win football games? Yes, he can, and yes, he has. True or false?
That's true. He's won games. When the winning stops, because of everything else, because he's clearly not the reason they're winning, can he go win a game? We haven't seen it yet. We saw it last year. We have not seen that this year. So what I'm trying to tell you is I can't assume that Jalen Hurts can go win you a game if we haven't seen him do it in 4 weeks.
You just told me that Dak Prescott played the best game of his career and he tied in the fucking game, bro. I'd rather have Jalen Hurts throw for 130 yards than win a game and keep our team and keep the Philadelphia Eagles undefeated, bro.
Now you playing semantics.
It's not playing semantics. You just told me he played the best game of his career and he tied in the game, bro.
Did he
did he or did he not?
Was the tie because of Dak Prescott?
It was.
That's what. So what are we talking about then? The tie wasn't because of Dak Prescott. The tie was not because of Dak Prescott, bro.
But I'm saying, all right, listen.
They scored and they gave the ball back to them under a minute, and they allowed them to come down and score and kick a field goal.
Exactly, but listen to what I'm saying, right?
When I'm talking about Dak Prescott, yes. I am talking about Dak Prescott, the player.
Yes.
When I talk about Jalen Hurts, I'm talking about Jalen Hurts, the player.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck about wins and losses because I don't rank my quarterbacks on wins and losses.
But
that is a small percentage of ranking a quarterback.
But you know what's ranked on wins and losses? The team standing. That's what's ranked. That's where that matters at.
But that don't matter if you can't win a big game.
They won big games back to back. What are you talking about? They started off with Dallas. They beat them. They played the Rams. They beat them.
So Dallas was a big game now.
Yes, it's the first game.
So Dallas was a big game now.
Dallas wasn't a big game. Come on, man. Stop.
After they traded Michael Parsons, Dallas was a big game now.
Jeff.
Now he want to claim that Dallas was a big game now.
Jeff. What? For one, it's a division game. Two, you told me that the Cowboys were still going to win the division. And
before he got traded.
Okay.
I never said that the Cowboys was going to win the division after Michael Parsons got traded.
Okay.
In fact, I said Michael Parsons was still going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Did I?
You did. But both things could be true. But again, let's talk about what you were saying about him not winning big games. After they beat,
when they ask him when he has a big game in this year, when he needs to go win the game, I don't have faith that he can go win the game.
You don't think that he can win a big game, even though he's already played in 3 big games so far this year? Don't tell me that
he wasn't the reason for them winning. He hasn't been a reason for them winning any of these games. You could go do what Jalen Hurts just did. The fuck? I could go do that. Out of shape Jeff could go do that. I'm sorry, my bad.
No,
we can put anybody out there to do that shit, bro. My bad.
All right, so he didn't play. He didn't play.
Sweating, bro. He pissed me off.
He didn't play well against the Rams. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He didn't play good. I mean, the Chiefs game. We know that was a slow walk. We know that was it was a chess match.
And this is
these
are the stats with not having the best rushing attack in football.
This is
the stats with not having the best rushing attack in football, bro.
This is the issue.
Man, cut it out.
Y'all do y'all hear what he's saying? This makes no sense, right?
What?
You're downplaying what Jalen Hurts has been doing. Yeah, granted, he hasn't been out putting up great numbers. like statistically.
That motherfucker
But
he better buy special teams in the defensive Rolex.
Bro, he's
because he ain't the reason they winning games, bro.
He's been efficient. He's been effective. He's like a Toyota Camry. Like is he or is he not? I know that motherfucker gonna last 300,000 miles.
Good luck.
Yeah, but
we got other games that happened, man. What other good games that was out there, bro?
It was a few other games that were pretty good this week. No, they won the Carolina game because they got their ass kicked. New England Patriots. Shout out to Drake May, man. Shout out to Cal. I'm gonna shout out Drake May for Cal, man, because he had a hell of a week.
Y'all boy bounced back Michael Penix. I
Yeah.
still don't know, but
they got a new offensive coordinator. And the offense looked competent. So
it did. He finally got Drake London involved, which I guess probably is the missing problem and the missing piece of that.
Got Kyle Pitts involved.
Yeah,
Kyle
got
Pitts
Kyle
scored a
Pitts,
touchdown,
got Kyle
good.
Pitts involved as well. Scroll down, Jeff. Let's see what else we got.
The Lions beat the Browns. Of course, we talked about that. The Titans still suck. Let's talk about that real quick. And we don't have to stay on it long because I mean it's an atrocious team. But Brian Callahan, dog, I've been saying it since he got the job. He got to go.
Another Bengal coordinator.
Yeah,
under Zach Taylor. He got to go.
Yeah,
it's time. He got to go.
Bro, I don't care if it's only his second year as a head coach. Bro, the team doesn't look competent.
Nah, it's over.
And then it was sayings of, was it really Will Levis who was the issue? It was never really Will Levis. He was out there making poor decisions, but he's been in a bad situation because of Brian Callahan.
Yeah, that's
like,
for sure.
They've got talent in Tennessee. I'll tell people that all the time. They have talent there. They don't have anybody that can utilize it.
Yeah.
So he got to go. But in other news,
Rams look good on a good win against the Colts, 27-20. You and Kyle was shitting on the Jags early on in that head coach, but he looked like he.
No, I wasn't shitting on. I picked the Jags to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought you was in that sentiment of you don't like the coach.
No, I like Liam Cohen.
Cal didn't like Cohen, and he balling out. Big game, and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs bounced back 37-20 against the Ravens. The Bears win a nail biter 25-20 24 against the Raiders.
Hey, breakout game for Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah.
They let him run in his old stance this game.
Old stance.
Over $150.
Over $150, but geez, they gotta come out with a win. They 1-3 now.
Well,
so.
they gotta stop turning the ball over, man. And I don't know if you move on from Geno, and I know that's Pete Carroll guy and Geno Smith, but man, maybe you see what Kenny Pickett got.
Hell no.
Maybe
you go from worse to worse.
No, bro. Geno Smith leads the league in interceptions right now.
I get that.
He got 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
I get that. That means you might need to run the other running back too. Jeanty had 21 carries. You might need to finish the game with 40. You better ground and pound.
Then move to the Wildcat.
You better ground and pound, buddy. Take care of the football.
But now, I did want to ask you something though about the Rams game.
Yeah.
Just a quick question. Do you think that? Well, obviously you see Jonathan Taylor's leading the league in rushing, but are you still a believer in Daniel Jones? Because I think a lot of people after the start that they had, I'm not. I'm still not. I think that you can put a dress on a pig, but you know what I mean. But after a while, you're gonna start to look like that's still a fucking pig. Like,
but you said it was the coach too.
Yeah, it was the ball. The ball was the big problem too. Yeah, Jeff Giddey. The ball was the bigger part of the problem.
He was the bigger part of the
problem.
But
here's this.
But
going back to you, right? Mm-hmm. Going back to your Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. What we saw thus far was we saw him play pretty damn good in 4 weeks. Yeah. We saw them get to the running game and take care of the ball to try to limit his mistakes, Danny's mistakes in Indy. We saw them rely on their defense. They got a solid defense. I mean, come on, bro. Like, at some point, no. At some point, you got to look at the numbers, and I get it. He threw 2 turnovers, 2 picks to the Rams game. But you got to look at these numbers and say, these numbers tell a decent story. That's all I'm saying. It's not the Giants story. This looks better than when he was with the Giants. So all I'm saying is for 4 weeks, I gotta respect it, bro.
I'll tell you this. You can take a girl on 4 dates and they all go well, but at the end of the day, she's still gonna be who she is. Like
we said this with Sam Darnold last year. We said this with multiple quarterbacks last year who revived their career, bro.
We have.
We said it with Geno Smith, and now he made the decision to go from where he was effective to forcing his way out of Seattle to go somewhere that's unknown. And now we seeing the results are different.
Well, it's different because they had something already built in Seattle. They're trying to build something in Las Vegas with the Raiders.
Agreed,
so
but
so the situation is a lot different.
Agreed, but at the end of the day, all I'm saying is we've seen quarterbacks go from not being good to going to a new environment, new team, new everything. And for 4 games is a good sample size to where you're probably almost a fourth of way through the season to say that's a sample size where Danny ain't bad, bro.
I agree. He hasn't played terrible, but I know
we haven't seen Danny with a running back like this outside of Saquon that 1 year. But even Saquon ain't going off like we didn't go off like with probably like Jonathan is doing right now. And they never had a defense, bro. They've never had a defense.
Who, the Giants?
Yes, not like Indies.
The year they went to the playoffs, they did. Remember, they beat Minnesota. They had a pretty slick defense then. But I will say this:
consistency.
I think he's played well, and I see what happens the rest. You know what I mean? Yeah. Throughout the year, I'm still not a believer. You know what I mean? I don't know if I necessarily take his talents over that of Anthony Richardson. I still think it's upside there. I
seen enough of I seen enough of AR that he ain't got a 15.
I think I don't know if the game got to slow down for him or what it is, but I still think it's something there. But yeah, I think you're right about the Jags. I think it's something there with Jacksonville.
Yeah, it is. It's now they did take Shador off of defense a little bit more last week, but I seen him blocking and make some key blocks on some good runs. Travis Hunter, my bad, but yeah. For sure. Yeah. I'm liking that. I'm liking what the Jags is doing. The culture's changing. Yeah. They Duvaling it out, so shout out to them and getting back to the run game.
Yeah.
Letting ETN cook.
Which I told you was the most important.
For sure, he gotta be.
Remember I said
because he gotta take the ball out the quarterback hand. Yeah. Who can't do it like Danny Dimes.
Well, not only that, but bro, Travis Etienne is healthy for the first time in like 2 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean that's important for him. But
let's get the weekly pick'ems.
Yeah, let's get to these.
Jeff,
picks,
do you by any chance you got Kyle's picks, or are we just going? You want to just post them? All right, we'll just add them.
All right, so it's let's start with the first game, Thursday night game this week is gonna be the Rams and the 49ers.
Actually, could be a good game. Brock Purdy's out. Thought he'll be back this week. Niners just took a loss to the Jags, so I'm gonna take the Rams.
This is always a close game because I don't know why, but I'm going with the Rams in the close one, maybe 3 points, but I'm going with the Rams. All right, then we got Sunday morning football, not early afternoon, but Sunday morning. So you got to be up early, playing over across the seas. Got the Minnesota Vikings playing against the Dylan Gabriel-led Cleveland Browns.
Give me the Vikings.
The defense too good in Minnesota, man. I'm going with the Vikings. All right, then we got the noon games start to kick off. You got the Raiders and the Colts.
Give me the Colts.
Colts going back home. I'm predicting them to get the win. So
Danny Dimes will be 4-1 after this week.
He should be.
All right. Good sample size.
Yeah. All right, Giants. Oh, well, I thought you ain't count wins. Never mind. Let me stop, man. We got to stop.
I don't, but you do.
I do.
And you was discrediting Danny. So if he had 4-1, in your eyes, how you view it,
you're right. That's why I said I'm gonna let him live. We gonna see what he do. But the New York Giants, which The New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints.
Give me the Giants, bro.
Give
me the Giants.
I'll be surprised if the Saints keep the same lineup that they got. I'll be surprised if they win a game. Give me the Giants.
They have to be wearing the bags by now, right? They have to be
to the game.
Yes.
All right. Then you got the Cowboys at the New York Jets.
Give me my Cowboys, man. I even though I think the Jets probably due for one, I seen enough of last week that gave me at least a little bit of hope and pickings, because I was like, all right, you got to kind of show me a little bit. Give me that. Hopefully they make some changes on the defensive side of the ball that can help us out a little bit.
Jets are coming off of a odd loss, but they still don't. It's still something that's missing from New York for me. I'm going with the Cowboys. The Broncos at the Eagles.
Cal might have been on to something too, bro. Justin ain't looking good, bro.
Justin ain't looking good.
But Eagles, Broncos, give me the Eagles. Eagles go 5-0.
This is only tough because I think that this is a trap game. Denver is going to stack the box and going to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. I'm going with the Broncos.
So did you not just prove my point? Hey, I'm just saying, when you stay around long enough, you take in some knowledge from me.
Nah,
but it's cool.
No, but the difference here is like the Broncos, they have the ability to go out and they can play 2-man. You know what I mean?
Just you don't have to have no excuse. I
they got two of the best corners in the league, and Jade Barron and Patrick Surtain.
100% agree with you.
Okay,
but we good.
And
you proved my point though. You did.
Bo Nick's like the nickel and dime, but you know
you proved my point though.
Then you got the Dolphins and the Panthers.
Give me the Panthers at home.
After the Panthers just got their ass beat the way they did, I don't even want to pick them. But I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna see what they got, man. I'm gonna go with the Carolina Panthers, man. It's not gonna. I don't even know if it's gonna be a good game or not. To be honest with you, Texans at the Ravens.
This one tough, bro, because C.J. Stroud and his
one of these teams is gonna be 1-4.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud has not looked good. They're the whole as a whole, the Texans haven't looked good. This is a game where I think the Ravens bounce back with a win. Relying on Derrick Henry to be the bell cow without a Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna take the Ravens in the win.
All right, yeah, give me the Ravens also. Give me the then we got the Titans and the Cardinals.
We don't have to do that.
All right,
give me the Cardinals. We ain't gotta do all that.
All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Seattle Seahawks.
This is a tough one, right? I think Seattle has got back to some good football out there and out west. Tampa Bay coming off of a loss to Philly. I think Philly. I think Tampa Bay bounced back in this window and get another dub to go 4-1 over the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm gonna go with the best receiver from Ohio State. Give me the Seahawks, man. JSN is gonna have him a game. Lions at the Cincinnati Bengals.
You know that. Give me Lions big. Pause. They 10.5 favorites. They gonna cover for sure.
You know what? I don't know if they cover.
They cover it for sure.
I don't know if they cover, but I'm going with the Lions here. I think it's gonna be closer than a lot of people think. Lions just lost one of their starting corners last week. So if you're giving me Jamar Chase in,
you have to get the ball to Jamar Chase.
But it's a good opportunity for people to talk about what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, Penei Sewell versus Jamar Chase. All right, Commanders at Los Angeles Chargers.
Give me the Chargers on a bounce back. They're at home.
I don't know. What's his name is coming back? The quarterback for Washington.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is playing again. His mom just tweeted out, and I rock with his mom, so I'm going with the Commanders.
Yeah, I think Amari and Hampton, they starting to get that running game going with him, and I'm starting to like what the Chargers doing.
I like what the Chargers are doing too. I think that the Commanders are going. They're going to be
get a win.
They're going to have a little bit more fire behind them with Jay Daniels coming back. Patriots at the Buffalo Bills.
Give me Bills.
Drake may have been playing good football, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough to go to beat Josh Allen. But then again, shit, maybe it is. Give me the Patriots. All right, and then we got Monday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Give me Chiefs, bro. I think the Chiefs got a solid win last week. I think they started to kind of figure out a little bit more what they're doing, a little bit of their identity, and try to figure how they're going to move in this season. And then I think they start to get some of the injured guys back, or guys that's been out as well, and some receiver help, I think, this week. So, yeah, give me the Chiefs.
One thing I've seen that I like out of this team is a lot of confidence started to come out last week when I was watching them. And I'm not talking about the Chiefs. Give me the Jaguars. Duval! I'm going with the Jags.
Okay.
At home.
All right.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence looked really confident throwing the ball last week at San Francisco. So, hey, they might have something there, like I told you, and start the season 4-1. But outside of that, though, that's really all I had today. Don't have a context map. I'm going to wait for Kyle to get back.
Okay.
So, to do our next one. So, with that being said, though, you got anything else you want to say to the people?
Nah, man, I'm just excited for some more ball this weekend and kind of checking these teams out and seeing what we can do. Kind of get to some money for these tickets, these parlays, you know what I'm saying, me? And hopefully get a fantasy football dub.
Yeah, man. Want to thank everybody out there for listening to Tunnel Vision Podcast. I know it's been a longer podcast this week, so appreciate y'all for tuning in and sticking it out with us. But we had to I had to get some stuff off my chest. He had to get some stuff off his chest. Till next time, though, we'll see y'all. We out of here.
Peace.